Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing really well. So this video is going to be just me talking about boards with the screen over here. Yep, so the title of the video is Let's Talk About Boards. Now you may think that I'm not the right person, to talk about boards and tell you things about it and about life after boards and how you should study in class 10th, and I agree with that I am not completely the right person to talk about it, even though I scored 97.6% in class 10 boards 2022-23, and I'm currently in class 11th. It's been 4 months, so I'll just tell you whatever I learned from this and whatever I think about boards and what were my mistakes in believing what people told me. So all of that I just wanted to talk, so I'm making this video. Now starting on with boards. So boards are basically the examinations conducted by CBSE, where you have to go to a different school to give the exams. You would have a different invigilator, the teacher you wouldn't know, and different students from different schools would be sitting with you in that particular room, and the paper wouldn't be made by your subject teachers, like your school subject teachers, and made by some other teachers, right? And your notebook, sorry, the copy for your board's answer sheet would also be checked by some other teacher. Yes, so everything would be different because till class 9th, uh, mostly what happens till class 8 is teachers just give us questions and answers, and we have to learn them and like rote learn them and just write it down in paper during the examinations, and they just give us marks on the basis of that. Also, when you enter class 9, conceptual things start to enter your life, even though in that also partially you have to rote learn things, but still. And also in class 9 as well, your teachers would be checking your notebook, so they know that this child has potential. This is he or she is a nice child, like she understands things. It's just that she cannot write it down on that paper, and on the basis of that they would just give you nice grades, like it happens. But now since you're in class 10th, and a different teacher would be checking your notebook, that teacher doesn't know what you're going through. Like maybe you are a bright student and you know everything, but just because your health got really bad, you fell sick. I hope that does not happen before the board exam, so you couldn't write in the examination, like you couldn't show your full potential. That teacher doesn't know. So that is why boards are a little bit complicated and little bit difficult, and that is why there is a hype about boards all over. And class 10 students are so nervous after entering the class, and towards the end where the board exams are near, you have to give pre-boards and all of that. But I'm just going to tell you the truth about it. Like, I'm not the right person to say this again, and I don't know everything about it, but whatever I know, I'm just going to tell you. And what happens after boards, that too. So, yes, as I told in the starting of the video, that I scored 97.6% in board exams, and my partner, who is the other owner of this channel, she scored 96.4%. Yes, okay, so we both scored really well, and we know how we did that. Like it takes hard work, I would say, but boards are not as that difficult as they are shown to be. So basically, starting with the starting of class 10th, you just enter class 10th and people just tell you, your teachers also just tell you that it is really difficult, beta. You have to study for 10 hours in a day, 8 hours in a day, in order to achieve that particular percentage. And you need to get good marks in boards because in your job applications or different places it would be used. The truth is, no, it wouldn't be. Like your board examination marks or your percentage does not matter at all. Like in job interviews, even they sometimes just ask for your class 12 board examination percentage or marks in that subject, but they don't ask class 10th board marks. Like they do not matter at all, like at all. So basically the thing that your teachers are telling you right now, not true, like not completely true. And the fact that they tell you that you have to study such a lot and for such long in in that way, that is also not completely true, to be honest. Like you must do hard work, but still you don't need to study for 8 to 10 hours a day and drain yourself out just for this examination. Like it is really important, I must tell you. And really important in the sense just to prove yourself, prove what you have studied from class first till class 10th, to prove that thing, and to prove that yes, you have potential to obtain good marks even though you scored very less in ninth, to make your parents proud for the very first time, because it is board examination, and everything is different, everything is new for you, and if you score good marks in that, your parents would be super proud, they would be so happy, it would be so good to see that smile on their face, right? And I was also really happy, and my parents were also really happy, so I know how that feels. And so you have to work hard, but it is not like that you have to study for 8 to 10 hours a day. That is not right. Just study for 3 to 4 hours, and since it is just the beginning of class 10th, it may be the beginning of class 10 for some students, for some it may be the middle, or for some it may be towards the end. So in the beginning of class 10th, you can have a little fun. It's not like you have to be super serious about studies and just study all day long. You can have a little fun, you can do fun things, you can go to places, you can just like have fun with your friends, you can just go out to your relatives house, to functions, you can, for the first 4 months, I guess. And like for some people it's like you can go all year, like there are no restrictions. But personally for me, I didn't go anywhere in the whole that period of class 10th, because I had this mindset in my mind that boards are really difficult, I need to study, even though I didn't used to study at home even after not going there, like the truth is that. But still, you need to show your relatives that you're working hard, right? Because some relatives, they are real bad, they will just pick you up on everything and just tell you you're wrong and all sort of things. So to prove yourself, you have to stay at home on some occasions, just to show them that yes, you are studying. And also one time I went somewhere, and this relative of mine, she started saying things, so that happens, right? So about this thing, you don't need to study much, and you can just skip some family functions if you want to, like if you are an introvert. So obviously that would be a good reason for skipping family functions, like you have to study for boards, to prove yourself to your relatives, to make your parents proud, you need to work hard, right? Okay, so for the starting of the session, you can have a little fun, study less, and it would be all fine. Then we come to the middle of the session. This is when you need to start being serious about it, like not completely serious, like not doing anything else and just studying. That is also not right in a way, right? You have to keep in mind that your physical fitness is also important, like play out, go outside, play for an hour or two, like it doesn't matter, it won't decrease what you have learned or decrease what you have the kind of hard work that you have done. So just don't be complete serious about studies from the starting, like just study, just try to understand what the teacher is teaching you. Like some concepts would be really difficult, you may have a problem in balancing, you may have a problem learning the chemical equations, you may have a problem in understanding, if your concepts from the previous 8th and 9th class are not clear, then you would have a problem in understanding metals, non-metals, so what are all of these things, right? But still you have to try, just try until the middle of the session, till you reach there, you have to start becoming a little serious. So start studying from that time, and I would tell you, make notes. Do not study from someone else's notes, just use them as a as an to take an idea of how to make notes, but do not completely study from someone else's notes. The first time you are studying, like take a lecture on YouTube, it can be a long one as well, because it doesn't matter when you're in the starting of the session or in the middle of the session. So it doesn't matter, just you watch a YouTube video and just start making notes by yourself, those long notes. Okay, and when you're revising the second time, then you can make short notes, like 1-page notes. I also provided some videos and 1-page notes for some chapters as well, I guess, or did I not, I don't know. But yes, so you have to do it in that way, like how you should study. And one thing is, while we were talking about the middle of the session, you have to utilize your summer vacations as well, like have a lot of fun, like roam around all summer vacations, but just study something, like in some subjects that, like you can study science and you can study English like you can study solve some questions of maths. So what I did in my summer vacations was I studied English and Hindi, because those were the subjects with all of the stories, and it felt kind of interesting at that time. So I just read all the chapters, sometimes made notes for some chapters, and like it really helped a lot later, because then I could focus on science and maths and SST and all of those subjects, right? So utilize the summer vacations and as well. And when you reach the middle of the session, then you start to you know, you need to start being more serious. So when you become serious, then you have to study from the best YouTubers. Like there are a ton of different teachers on YouTube, and you need don't it's not necessary that you need to take a coaching for any subject. Like I didn't go to any coaching, didn't take any home tuitions or any kind of tuition. I just studied from YouTube, and that like helped, because you know the kind of teachers that you would get offline, they wouldn't be as good as the teachers you would get on YouTube. So YouTube is the best medium for studying. And what you can do is make a separate account, like a Google account for your studies, like an account which is just for studies, so that you know, and then you can compare the time watched, like in that account and in the account, the one which you use for fun stuff. So this is how you can monitor how much time you waste or how much time you utilize, right? Okay, give yourself free time and then focus on your physical fitness as well. Study nicely and start being serious from the middle of the session, and just do this till the end. Now talking about towards the end of the session, when you would start having pre-boards in your schools, like November, December and January, February. So at that time there would be such a hype in your school, like yes students, you have to study, you have to score good marks, and if you don't get good marks in pre-boards, you wouldn't even get good marks in boards. This is a whole lie, because teachers in school during pre-boards, they make such hard paper, like so hard that you would it would be so difficult. If you are a 95% of students, you would be getting around 85 or 90, and that would demotivate you in a way. But why do they do this? They do this so that the student starts to work hard. Like the kind of students who are on the 70-75 percentage line, they start to work hard, and when in the pre-boards they would reach 50%, like so they would obviously work hard, right, so that they get some kind of good percent in both. So that is why, just to make you work hard, they do this kind of thing in the pre-boards. And to tell you about this, like there is an advantage of this as well. Like you have to work hard obviously, but don't get demotivated. This is the real reason why I'm telling you that pre-boards are you know, not as equally as difficult as boards. So you don't get motivated, you don't have to get motivated, you have to work hard still and work better on yourself, and don't judge yourself by the pre-board marks, because most of the teachers would tell you that, you know, if you don't get good marks in pre-boards, you wouldn't get good marks in boards, especially the school teachers. But that isn't true. Okay, even after the pre-boards, just work hard, study, like increase your pace a little. If you're falling back on the syllabus, just increase your pace, start you know, doing things in a more speedy manner, and yes, do good in both. And when if there is any kind of like you health issues during the board exams, then that would be real bad, and it would be really difficult for you. And because of that, I hope it doesn't happen, but because of that, you have to be prepared for that as well, right? Because of that, if you don't get really good marks or the kind of marks you expected, don't be sad, because board exams are just to prepare you for your future, for the competitive exam, the real, you know, thing in life. So it is just the first part, and it is the first important exam of your life, so you have to give your best to make your parents proud, right? So yeah, this was all about boards and how you have to do things, like some things about how you have to do things. Now when we talk about what happens after board exams, so like in around 1 or 1.5 months after boards, you would get your results, and believe me, they would be really good. Like the level of difficulty of the board exam, the time I gave wasn't difficult at all. Like I would say it was really easy, but still I thought that my answers would be wrong, and I was sad, kind of like sad, not too happy after the boards. But when the results came out, splendid results. So you would also score really well in your boards. Just believe in yourself, and yes, just imagine that smile on your parents' face when you get the result. They would be super proud. They would be distributing sweets around your neighborhood and all of that. And don't judge yourself in between by the marks that you get. Okay, don't get demotivated. And your parents would be there for your moral support. Your friends would be there. You can study with your friends as well in group study sessions, like what I did in January, like around January. Me and my friends, December or January, we used to study together, like online, on Google Meet. So we all used to join, and one of them, like each one of them would explain one topic. So we are a group of 4 friends. So yeah, this is how this works. Like this is how boards work, and this is how you have to study. Like not completely, you could have your own method, and then when you score good, you would tell that method to someone else or start a YouTube channel like I did. So yes, it is really motivating to think about it. Now, talking about afterwards, this is where the real black hole starts. Like class 11th is said to be the most like difficult class, and I am like experiencing this right now. And I really think that class 11th is difficult. And you know you wouldn't also you wouldn't believe me when I say this. I also didn't used to believe the people in the comment section or the seniors that used to tell me that 10th तो कुछ भी नहीं है अभी 11th में पता लगेगा तेरे को असली. Like I didn't used to believe them, but now I think yes, they were right. Like when I used to open a video related to class 10, people there would be like 11th is the real black hole, 10th is just just it would just go away, and 11th is the real black hole. I didn't used to believe it, but now since I'm in 11th, I'm experiencing it. I can tell you that it is true. 11th is really difficult, but don't get scared. I'm just telling you because you need to be prepared about it from before. And even if you don't believe me, you'll have to face it someday. Any stream you take. So basically, yeah, this is about 11th. It is the real black hole. Like it is really difficult, but you'll cope up with that as well. Like we'll get out of that situation as well. We'll score good in 12th boards as well, and we'll crack any competitive exam that we like. Okay, that was a little bit too motivating, but yes, this was about boards and after boards. Thank you.